necessarily those of the Emily Pearl Show, its sister stations, its affiliates, or its sponsors, but it is those of the individuals themselves who express it. While the Emily Pearl Show does take stances on individual issues, the show itself remains an entertainment platform. Free thought is a philosophy and not a policy.
Hello, 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 everybody. Glad everybody is here. We're going to have a great show for you. Miss Sybil, take it away.
Well, hi. I better be awake. I'm sitting in front of the computer. Had a great day today, just relaxing.
Outstanding. Yeah.
And what have you been up to?
Well, really not nothing today. I think I'm going to do a little catching up on my programs tonight, but that's going to be about it. So, yeah, it has been a pretty good day.
Well, I'm always happy to see Emily's heartbeat of the South, as she calls you.
Likewise.
You are a icing on the cake.
Well, thank
And
you.
I'm your fan as well. And you have really rounded out the Emily Pearl show and every one of her shows.
Right.
Just by being a part of it. And
thank you.
And
thank you.
Having a man such as yourself, add to the hen party.
Right.
Yes,
I would like to thank you also for hanging in there all the years that you've been here.
Well, having Emily as my best friend forever makes it very easy to do so.
Right, okay.
And Emily will be popping up in a few minutes.
Okay.
And you know what? I want to welcome everyone to the Emily Pearl show. And if you have a comment, please join in the chat box. We have something very special tonight.
Yes.
A very wonderful surprise. And what we're going to do, if it's all right with you, Tim, how about if we take a short break and be right back?
All right. Works for me.
Look.
Welcome to the Shack 12 Week Shred. My name is Rock Shabazz, and I'm here to take you through the same program that I made for this guy right here.
This program is without a doubt a huge reason why I was able to get fit and stay fit. If you put in the work and stay consistent, you just might be able to keep up. It's time for you to get to work.
All right, we're back.
Well, that sure was a quick spot.
Yeah, sometimes it be that way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And hang in there, Paul. We have a surprise tonight, so just
Hey, Paul. Hey, Sandra. Glad you
Yeah.
guys can make it.
so momentarily we have something that you're gonna really be happy about, and I think we
Yeah.
can get right in it. I believe that's all for the commercial. Didn't
Okay.
quite play, but we'll try to do that again.
Okay.
And so, of course, Emily welcomes everyone to the show.
Mhm.
And tonight, what we're doing special is we're celebrating the Black History Month. But here is the surprise. Black History Month celebrates Emily Pearls Kirk in film and entertainment around the world. She is in the spotlight. So the latest buzz is whispering across the pines from nation to nation about a little-known movie producer, director, writer, and filmmaker who is also a senior citizen. This African-American woman has made a mark definitely in her city, if not around the world. What a great addition to add to and celebrate Black History Month across the world.
All right. She is known as Emily Pearls by her stage name. She is 73 years young, more popular in the UK and other countries, with her blog Talk Radio Show 2013. She now known to listeners in the United States concurrently. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. That's a mouthful of a word.
Mm-hmm.
But now she is known as the first female African American senior citizen to have her independent film to play on 4 major TV and movie streaming platforms. The film was made and produced in 2016-2017. It was edited by Swan Lake Media in Hull, England, Yorkshire, and Lincolnshire.
In 2018, it first aired on Amazon for 1 year through purchase. In 2020, it began airing on Pantaflix and international streaming platforms based in Germany. In 2022, it began showing on Tubi.com, Apple TV, and Roku. It is also shown Plex TV, which is the channel available through Roku, Plex TV. It is also a standalone platform that you can watch online.
When asked, Emily Pearls said, I never had the intention of making a movie, but always, as a little girl, watched a lot of movies. I thought I would one day grow up to be a movie star. Emily Pearls has done some non-union local movies and commercials.
After retiring in 2011, she began broadcasting her own radio show in 2013. She currently runs a weekly broadcast of 4 shows. All can be seen on social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Trovo, Apple TV, and Twitch.
Just go to the Roku, Tubi, and Plex TV platforms and enter the title of her movie to watch it. The movie is M. Pearls, AAL. That's M and then a space, Pearls, AAL, the movie. The movie is 128 minutes long and has a TV rating of PG-14.
When asked if there were any future plans for any future movies, Emily Pearl said, hopefully we can have a series to find out what she is doing now after winning the case that earns her millions of dollars.
Emily Pearls Kirk, you are in the spotlight. Come on in.
All right.
Hello,
Yay!
everybody. Thank you,
Hey.
guys. Thank y'all so much.
All right.
Thank
What
you.
an introduction.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm
So,
happy to
Tim,
be
did you want
here.
to start off and ask her some questions about her movie career?
Well, yeah, I guess I could take that ball and run with it. I guess my first question would be, what gave you the idea about making your own film?
Well, I actually didn't plan on making a film. I never even thought about making a film.
Okay.
But I am a longtime viewer of Perry Mason.
Right.
And before I got cable Xfinity, I was just watching the, free channels.
Right.
And the free channel always carried Perry Mason at 10 o'clock
Mhm.
on one of the channels. I've forgotten which one now. And I would always stay up to watch it and fall asleep on it. And while I was watching it one night, I heard really this, literally heard distinct someone say, "You should make a movie." I said, "Make a movie about what?
Mm.
About what you know? About what I know? What do I know?" And then I kept watching a little bit more Perry Mason. I said, "Oh, wow, I know a lot about Perry Mason, and I've been watching that since
Yeah.
I was 6 years old."
Okay.
And so I figured that was one of my angels, if not God, telling me to do that. And so I decided that I'd better do it.
Right.
That you have to pay attention when you hear those inspirational voices like that,
Right. Okay.
And so that's what I did. That's how it came about.
Well, you
Okay.
know what,
Great.
Emily? I want to tell the audience this. Me and Emily stay in touch just about every day.
Yeah.
She didn't mention a word to me, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. So when I call up the next day, I will be. Overnight, she decided to do a movie. She said, "I think I'll do a movie." And I thought, okay. And she did. So, never went to training school or anything for movies. So,
Mhm.
how did you know how to write your movie scripts? Never been to school for it or anything. It was perfect. Her scripts was just like Hollywood. And I don't know how you knew how to do that. You did the scenes, the location, the dialogue, the entire thing.
I did. Yes. Well, I've always really been good at writing. I did take some schooling in college in creative writing. Was one of my courses, and of course, I'm an English major, so perfect grammar and perfect writing is one of my best attributes, right?
Mhm.
So that part wasn't hard, and that is the most hardest part for writers because uh, it's difficult when you write a script and you don't really know how to spell well or use grammar well. It can be a very hard job for an editor because what you need to do is you need to get an editor in there, a grammatical editor,
Mhm.
just to edit the script before you even try to go on a set, and have actors to try to learn their script or to read it. So that was a plus for me. I already knew how to do that. And writing a script, for me, I learned a trick when I was in college about creative writing.
Mhm.
And I think that if you probably talk to the professionals, they might tell you that that's not the way to do it.
Okay.
But for me, it worked for me in college because I was a straight A student, and of course, I graduated cum laude from the University of Memphis with my
Mm-hmm.
bachelor's degree in English,
Wow.
Right.
as
Congratulations.
as well as a master's in arts, liberal arts. And so my little trick was always think of how you want your beginning to start.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a beginning.
Gotta have that beginning. Then once you get the beginning, I skip straight to the end.
Okay.
How do I want my ending to end?
Yeah, that's the hardest part too sometimes.
Yes, because I found when I was doing writing in college that when I was starting my creative writing stories, I'd go all the way to the middle or maybe three quarters of the way and didn't know what the ending was going to be or how I was going to figure out what the ending is going to be. And then I would get all kinds of endings just popping up in my head,
Okay.
Okay.
and then that would make me have to rewrite over and over and over and over and over again. So the trick for me I learned by trial and error was I think about how I want my story to start. And then think about how I want this story to end. Then once I get that, then I start from the beginning, work to the middle, then I can work my way back from the end and make the two middles meet together.
Okay. Okay.
Wow, that's wonderful advice, especially for new screenwriters.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
Yes.
it sounds like you had a vision already. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Well, when are you talking about when I wrote M Pearls?
Yes.
Right.
That's what
You sort of had it. You know, he was
Well,
influenced by Perry Mason.
right,
Mhm.
yeah. And well, I know how Perry Mason's series, most of his shows would begin and end.
Right.
So I definitely wanted it based on that style.
Okay.
And then I also definitely wanted a clean movie with no vulgarity and no curse words. Just
That's wonderful.
and I wanted everybody to be dressed professionally as much as possible.
Okay.
Because I found that it's more acceptable now, but when I produced this movie in 2016, it saying that if it was not a rap kind of movie or a hip hop movie or a gangster movie,
Mm-hmm.
the regular black movies all had to contain something vulgar
Mm-hmm.
or sex
Mm-hmm.
or
That's
cursing.
on a lot of them.
Yeah. And so I said, well, I think people get tired of that.
They're sick of that kind of filth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so Tim can tell you I never cared much for cursing.
Me
Not
if
at
you
all.
if you push me to the point where I said curse word, you better get out the way
You
because
better
I'm
step,
really
step
mad
out of the
then.
way. Yeah. It'd be like a
Yeah.
tiny tornado.
Right.
For real. So
Well, let's
yeah.
see. I like to go a little bit deeper, right quick, if we can.
Okay.
Where did you get your work ethic and your drive? Because even before I was born, you have always work, even up to today. So where did you get the drive and the work ethic from?
I got that from your great grandfather. Your great grandfather was a remarkable man. Um, he was in a car wreck. Well, he was hit by a car just a little bit before I was born, and it broke his back and his leg,
Oh wow.
his left leg. And he was laid up for a long, long time. In fact, I was born during the time that he was laid up, and my mother had to go to work, and I would lay right there in the bed with him all day. That's what they tell me. And
Okay.
of course, they told me, and of course, the neighbors were really neighbors back then. We don't really have neighbors now,
Right.
but back in 1949, there were really good neighbors.
Yeah.
Um, and like neighbors on both sides, neighbors from all up and down the street would come in on him all through the day and evening, afternoon, check on him, check on me,
Yeah.
and feed him and feed me, and till my mother got home.
Okay.
And so, because at that point, my mother was a single mom, and so you know how men are, they feel like they don't want the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't changed since 1949, and they just
Mm-hmm. You're
they
right.
just wherever Papa that lay his hat does his home,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then they want to be gone if something like that pops up, So,
Yes.
but anyhow, I got that from your great grandfather and your mother and your grandmother,
Okay.
because
That's wonderful
my grandfather, after
background.
he did heal, um, but the thing about it is he had built our own house by hand with help, from the neighbors
Mm-hmm.
before he got hit by this car. And he always do gardening. He could cook, and he worked, before all this accident stuff happened. And then afterwards, he still would do gardening. And he did not he had to walk with crutches, but he did not let that keep him from going out and about.
Okay.
And our grandmother, she always worked. She did day work. Then when she got tired of doing day work, she decided she was going to work from home. So she was one of the early entrepreneurs because she had gone to secretarial school, is what they called it back then.
Okay.
And there was a business college here in Memphis that she graduated from. The name of it was Henderson Business College. So she had her certificate in typing. So she taught typing. And then when we moved from my grandfather's house, when she remarried, she
Mm-hmm.
got a piano and in our new home. And then she began to teach music
Okay.
as well as typing from her home. In addition to that, she was a church musician. And
Okay.
so she earned her money for herself uh, by teaching rather, typing and music, and playing the piano at church every
Okay.
Sunday.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
I know you
Well,
do.
she was really enterprising to help bring money into the household when your
Mm-hmm.
grandfather had that awful accident laid up. I want to say hello to Paula Sanders and, of course, Sandra
Hi,
Hill.
Paul. Hi,
Hi, Paul.
Mary. Hi,
Hi guys.
Sandra.
Sandra said,
Hey
"Yay,
everyone.
Miss Emily Pearls Kirk," and Mary Seal says, "Hi, everyone," and then
Yeah.
she also said the great advice with your
Mm-hmm.
writing technique, on the
Yes.
script. So hopefully we'll
Yes.
have some more people tune in.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of things going on tonight, but
Yeah.
at least we know that our shows are archived,
Right.
and
Yes.
we can send this very special
Yeah.
celebration show out from now on to the
Yeah.
people that
Yes.
missed this, and perhaps sometime you might want to repeat it as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah, I can
So,
always
Yeah.
play it as a replay for a night that we want to take off.
Right.
mhm.
Now, I saw the movie. Movie was outstanding. My question to you
Thank
about,
you.
yeah,
Of course it was.
outstanding, yeah. And my question to you, I noticed that you were brutally honest from the beginning.
Yeah.
What inspired you to be that honest connection with you and the viewer?
Well, the characters in the story, um, you will find that they go through everything, everything that any ordinary person can go through. And so the character in Pearls, she grew up during a hard time, And but she was very attractive from being a young child and all through her life. And she sometimes her beauty could be a blessing, but then also a curse. And so when you have women that are taken advantage of brutally by men that will molest children, you know, how can you look at a girl child and get aroused? That's sick.
Yes, it is.
And it's evil.
Right.
It is still happening today.
Mm-hmm.
And so the character in Pearls has went through that, and she wanted to tell her story.
Okay. Outstanding. Great.
Well, I want to thank you for the honor of you casting me as your secretary, Maddie Long.
Yes, Maddie Long.
And it was kind of pattern after, you know, Perry Mason had his secretary.
Right.
What was her? Yeah, what was her name?
Della.
Yeah, Della. So I enjoyed that role, and looking forward to your series to continue on. And how did you come about casting your characters and creating the characters for your movie?
Okay. When you write, it's best to write about something that you know, or even people that you know. But of course, you have to change the name to protect the innocent, you know. And I've known a lot of people during my lifetime, and I wanted to pick out names of people that I wanted my characters rather to be people that played a major role in my life, and in Pearl's life. That's what she wanted. So therefore, she has people all around her that she knows very well. Her longtime secretary, Matty Long, you know,
right,
and then her receptionist, Charlene, who was I forgotten her character's name, but and then she has her investigator that had been working with her through the law firm, which she could barely afford to pay him, and many times she could not afford to pay him, but he just stayed with her, you know, and so those were the people that were around her. Now, some of as far as their names actually comes from me, the writer. I created the names of the characters. I created the name of the company. And I would say maybe some first names are real and maybe some last names are real. But no two names, no first name and long name put together is real. It's fictitious.
Wow, great.
That's
Let's see. Yeah, let's see about you know, people say you should leave your mark on the world.
Yeah.
I have to say that movie was definitely one of your marks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So how did you feel when you saw all of your hard work on the big screen?
Wow. That was something else.
At the premiere.
I saw it on the big screen at the premiere, but Sybil can tell you, me and theaters just don't get along.
Okay.
I fall asleep.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on my own movie.
Oh, wow. I believe that's the first.
I kept poking her, waking her up.
But it's because I had seen it so many times and played it.
Right.
Like when I worked with my editor in England, every little frame or 2 or 3 frames and every scene, everything was sent to me for approval. I would suggest changes and he would suggest changes. And we would just say, I just saw this, you know, every frame so many times that I already knew everything.
Right.
So it's not like going and see a movie that you have never seen before. Gotcha. But even I go to sleep on those, you know.
Well, Emily,
But
how did you find him in England? The editor.
there is this site called Fiverr, and these are freelance professionals, and you can find film editors, film producers, uh, writers, just all types of arenas. You know, whatever you're looking for, this particular site is a site where they advertise
Mm-hmm.
what they do, and you just go through them and check them out, and they'll send you some of their sample work, And when Swanland contacted me, I explained to him that I had very little budget, if none at all, and that I was really looking for someone to work with me. Over a period of maybe a month or two, in paying him to do the work. But one thing I want to say this, and I want to some questions to come from the audience to you guys. So y'all type in and ask me some questions. But the main thing that makes a movie successful is the editing.
Okay.
The editing is the
Gotta
key
have a good editor
to a successful movie. So I didn't want a freelancer that did not have any company experience. So I looked upon Swanland Photo because this guy actually owned the company. But he says that he does advertise on this freelance site to help people just like me.
Okay.
And that was just awesome because I had called an editing company here in Memphis. One that is very known for their work. They do good work. But the quote that I got from them was around $4,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that made me have to seek, someone else. And because I had to come out of my own pocket with this. I did not have any sponsors. Of course, we did have sponsors for giving our gifts, and that was my producer coordinator was Sandra Hill Wilson.
And she did a great job too.
Yeah, great job, Sandra.
Thank her for that. Yes, they gave us merchandise and coupons, but this was just for our premiere. This was after the movie was done. What I'm referring to now is getting the movie edited, because you don't have a movie until it is complete.
Right.
And we had to do 3 edits. Simple, your pages allowed.
Oh, sorry about that.
we had to do 3 edits.
Okay.
Three final edits. So it's not an easy task.
Okay.
Therefore, you really need someone that knows what they're doing. Because you have to have the right frame size. And Sybil can remember when we was on a set, I would always ask my camera guys, "Are y'all filming at such and such and such?" Then Sybil, do you remember? Or if you remember,
Right.
I always made sure that they had the same camera pixel setting, because this is where independent filmmakers can make a really big mistake.
Right.
If you're not filming each scene on the same pixel number with however many cameras you got, then that's why you see films that look so much different. Some scenes that are really like salty looking, or crackly looking, some are clear and some are foggy, some are crackle. That's because the producer didn't know what they were doing.
Okay, yeah, which brings me to my next question with you. Having had a chance to to have a movie, do you have a different outlook for the writers and producers of today that you now that you know all the work that goes into it?
Oh God, yes. It is something else because Tim, as you know, I think I had a power outage and I had some frames that I needed to get to the editor.
Right.
And I had to have it by the next day. I think I had to drag all of my notes and
Yeah.
And my what do you call them, drives, and
Mhm.
my laptop over to your house and took up your whole table.
I remember. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it is really a hard job to do, but if you want it done right, you have to just keep redoing it and make sure that it's right, because just because it's hard and you say, well, that's okay, we're just gonna let that go,
Mhm.
you're not gonna get a good product.
Okay.
And I know that my cast was kind of impatient with me because I was really a stickler. Sybil can tell you that because I know it all wasn't good, because I was a stickler on the
Well, you
set
have to be like that directing. It didn't bother,
yeah,
it didn't bother me at all doing something
Mm.
over again. That's part of the movies. I
yeah,
don't care what
yeah.
set you go on, you're gonna find the same thing there. They
Yeah.
want it done right.
Well, a lot of people that are extras and that have played extras here in Memphis for independent films, say, back 2015, 16, 14, 15, 13, they didn't know anything about, retake. They didn't understand why you had to retake it again. But
Oh yeah.
now that The Rock has used about every extra available in Memphis,
They should know it
and
now.
they know that now, and
Yeah.
I'm really glad they had a chance
Yeah.
to undergo that tiredness,
Yes.
uh, you know, of having to retake and shoot, reshoot.
And they have
Yes.
to get different angles too and different lighting. And
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, right now, I would like to share this with you, and when y'all get a chance, then maybe we could go to a break.
Yeah. Let's
yeah, let's
take a
go ahead
break.
and take a break now.
Well, let me
Mhm.
show this before I
Okay.
go.
Okay.
And you guys can ask questions. I don't know where
Yeah. Jump in
everybody
there, guys.
is.
Paul, Sandra,
They're
Mary.
not asking anything. I guess they're just listening.
Okay.
All right, so here is a picture that no one has ever seen before. And I have several of these, and the reason why I have them is because if I do, and when I do the series, I'm gonna have like these different types of pictures at the end of each episode.
Oh yeah, there you are. I remember
Okay.
that.
And
Live in action.
there's a
Mhm.
picture of both my cameras, and you can see the different angles.
Right.
Since you mentioned angles, Tim, and uh, and the movies, you can use the wired microphones, where
Mhm.
people, like you see the reporters have them clipped on their clothes,
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
or you can get the pack where you can hide up under your clothes.
Right.
Either one.
Well, we didn't have that, and so what we did have, though, as you can see, is that really big boom microphone.
Right.
Now, those big boom microphones are very, very, very sensitive.
Yes.
They pick up a pin drop.
Gotcha.
And so that way, my actors did not have to wear any type of microphone gear, because wearing microphone gear takes up a lot of time on set.
Yeah.
And unless you got professional teams, and you got a whole lot of time, then putting those wearable microphones on different actors and taking them off
Mm-hmm.
putting them back on, taking them off. It sucks up a lot of time. So to move a little swiftly, it's best to have the big boom microphone. And that can serve because they can pick up as long as you got it quiet on the set, it can pick up everybody's voice. All right.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, mentioning of that, it only took me one time, which was 12 hours, and I had a more respectful outlook on extras because it was not for me. It was hard. It was a lot. It takes a lot of patience.
It's hard work.
You
Yeah.
know.
It
So
don't bother me at all.
Okay.
I like
Well, look, my hat goes off to you guys because I tell you,
I could do it then, but I can't do it now. Like I
Okay.
said, we filmed this, and the latter part, we started filming this in August of 2016,
Mhm.
and then it went even into early January, I believe, maybe even a little bit of February of 2017.
Okay.
And we did our premiere at the Maricopa Theaters in
Right.
2017 here in Memphis.
Yes.
And then after that, excuse me, I uploaded it to Amazon, and Amazon accepted it, which is another very difficult task because Amazon has what they call an AWS platform, as do most of these streaming companies. And you have to sometimes resize your video. You have to reset your frames, and it's just a lot of requirements to upload them to platforms such as Amazon.
Okay.
But now, when Tubi picked up my movie, I have no clue. I could not tell you when. I don't know. And I don't know if it shows when it first aired or not. I don't think it does, but maybe some of y'all can research that and let me know.
Yeah, it's circulating. That's a good sign.
Yeah,
that is very good, especially first movie.
Yes.
It is available on Tubi. It is available on Apple TV and on Roku. And Roku, you would just have to add the Plex channel. It's a channel that Roku has within the Roku system, and you just go to that channel, Plex, and watch it through your Roku. So Roku is like basically I guess it's like a cable service, but it's not really cable. So it has a lot of its own channels, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Plex is one of the channels within the Roku system. I don't know if it's Roku. Roku, is that it?
Yeah.
System. Where you would click on the Plex channel, and then you could type in the search.
That's PLEX. PLEX.
Right. And so hopefully some more mainstream channels, TV streaming services will pick it up now that, because usually that is what happened. Once you have 1 to 2 major streaming platforms pick up your movie, it spreads like wildfire to all the others, so. And what I like about it is can't nobody take it off except that.
And that's
right.
Yeah, it's not like Facebook. Can't nobody, they can say they don't like it all they want to, but it's not coming off.
Okay, great.
You know how they have to rate this movie? They can put thumbs down and put any comment in they want to. But it all they're gonna do is probably just take it out of the things that they offer you on your account.
Right.
Okay. But it will not come off of those channels because why? Because there are some people who like it. Right. There are many. I would say there are more people that like it there are more
Oh,
people
yeah.
that don't.
Gotcha.
Like I said, people want to be able to sit down now with their children and watch something that is family oriented,
Right.
that is good, that is suspense, and that is drama, but that is not vulgar, that does not have cursing in it, does not have nudity in it, does not have all of that other stuff. And what do they call it? Where they're doing that dance and all that.
Yeah.
That twerking stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all that kind of twerking and stuff in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a great movie. You don't have to have all that negative mess.
Yeah. You know, I can't.
Have a good movie.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen a rated G movie. You know, that's almost extinct in this day and time, but it needs to come back.
Well, years ago, you couldn't even cuss on the radio. The FCC would fine you thousands of dollars.
You're right.
So it is rated PG by the Film Commission, National Academy of Films,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have to rate it. That was another blessing. Once it was picked up by those major TV channels, see, they pay like an annual fee for their movies, and they can do the rating themselves to the National Film Rating Company,
Right.
corporation or department or whatever it is. So they don't have to pay to rate it; they can rate it themselves. But when it was on Amazon, in order for me to have it rated, and when it was on Amazon, it did not have a rating. But in order for me to have had a rating on it when it was picked up by Amazon, it would have cost me, I think it was about $800 or $900.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a strain, a very heavy burden for independent filmmakers when you have no budget or little budget, because you can't have a good movie with no budget or little budget,
Right.
But so I just didn't. I said I'm not studying about no rating. As Amazon said, that's okay. That's fine with me. I'm going to go with that. And
Right.
so that's what I did.
Great. Hey, let's take us a break and then get some of our partners in here.
Sounds
Well,
like
all
a
right.
plan to me. All right.
right.
A VPN is great for security and privacy. By hiding your IP address and encrypting your traffic, it shields your data from snoopers and all kinds of cyber attacks. But its protection scope is limited. So, NordVPN is becoming more than just a VPN. We are introducing a brand new feature to the desktop apps, Threat Protection, and it's going to take your digital security to the next level. Once you enable it on your NordVPN app, Threat Protection will guard your device against malicious websites, malware, trackers, and intrusive ads, even if you're not connected to a VPN server at the time. That's right, when you switch it on, it'll stay on, regardless of your VPN connection. Let's take a look at how it can improve your cybersecurity. Online, one wrong turn can spell disaster for your private data, but not with Threat Protection. It blocks dangerous websites that might potentially host malware, even if you click on a dangerous link by accident. Next up, Malware Protection. If you accidentally download an infected file, it's not the end of your devices just yet. Threat Protection scans every file you download. If a file turns out to be infected, it gets deleted immediately before it can wreak havoc on your computer. Most websites you enter are stuffed with trackers that follow you from one page to another, creating a unique profile of who you are and what you like. Threat Protection blocks trackers, so you can surf the net with more privacy. Ever opened a web page only to be bombarded with intrusive ads and loud autoplay videos? Well, they're not only annoying, some of them can actually be a cyber threat. Threat Protection blocks the intrusive and malicious ads on the spot. So, how do you take your device security to the next level? Make sure you have the latest NordVPN app version on your computer. Then open it and click on the little shield. It's the Threat Protection icon. Toggle the switch on and enjoy ultimate security. You can also find Threat Protection Lite on your mobile apps, but it won't block trackers or malicious files on your phone just yet. Step up your cybersecurity and stay safe.
All right, we're back.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Let me just say this about closed captioning too.
Okay.
Not only did I have to pay for the editing, I also had to pay for the closed captioning. And I had hoped, I had really put the cart before the horse when I did the premiere, because I was really hoping that I don't know, I was just dreaming really big. I was hoping Hollywood was gonna pick it up, because I did talk to some people, some what do you call them, distributors.
Okay.
Yeah, but they also wanted more money. They wanted money too, and I didn't have any more because I had already sacrificed around a little over $2,400 just for the editing and the closed captioning. And I wanted to say this because you get what you pay for.
Right.
And I know that people think that, well, I don't have to pay for this, my movie's going to be just as good. But 9 times out of 10, it won't. So you do have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your product. And it's best to do it when you really have a chance to do it. I think I used a tax refund that I had gotten back to do mine. But at any rate, you must invest in your product if you want a good product. So the thing, and I also had to pay for the liability costs insurance for us to film at the courthouse. We were able to use the Millington Courthouse.
Okay.
Judge Wages was kind enough to give us his chambers. And so, and I had to pay for the closed captioning. And because at that time, I did not know how to do closed captioning. I know how to do it now, but I don't like to do it.
It must be a tedious job.
It's a very, very tedious job. Imagine all of those words that come out of people's mouth in 128 minutes. That's a long time.
It is.
But they did a really good job. And
why did you have to have that for people that can't hear?
Amazon requires it. If you're going to upload a movie to Amazon, they require it. Yes, for people that can't for people that
Right.
can't hear. That's right.
Right. Yeah, what information or what would you give uh to the people that have thought about or either dreamed about making a movie? What would be your overall advice?
Yeah, like I said, the first thing I did was for my casting my actors was I really wanted them to be able to get paid, but it didn't turn out that way because it wasn't picked up by a major distributor, you know.
Okay.
So, um, so that's the reason why I'm so grateful to my actors that did participate in the movie. But
Yeah.
what it is giving them now, you see, is a lot of exposure
Yeah.
because their names are in the credits, as well as our sponsors too that gave us our merchandise to give out at our premiere. Their names are
Oh,
there.
yeah,
Those are
that's great
great gifts.
exposure.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Hey, Emily, before I forget, I want you to talk about the music for your movie. Who did the music? It was beautiful.
I will as soon as I answer Tim's the rest of
Oh,
Tim's question.
pardon me.
So the advice that I would give for anybody that's thinking about doing it, do it. You can only do it if you try.
Right.
But what you would regret is if you never tried. So just do it. And if you can seek advice from someone who has done it, even if you have to pay them for it. Like I say, you got to stop wanting stuff for free
Right.
for a good product. If you want a good product, you got to have to invest in your product.
You're right. You get out what
Great
you put into
advice.
it.
So
Mhm.
everybody's getting some good free advice tonight because
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
that's what our show is. We do.
Just
We
watch the show. Get it
Yes,
free.
indeed.
Advice.
free advice. That's right. So I would say just do it, because you'll never know how it turned out. Because when I heard the voice of the angel or God tell me to do it,
Mhm.
I didn't even know where to start doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I just did it.
Right.
And you went like a jackrabbit. I mean, she just spit that movie out.
Yeah,
And another thing too, Emily, some people can start with short films, to get
That's-
their feet wet.
that's true. That's true. I don't know why that wasn't given to me to do as a short film. It wasn't given to me
Well,
to do
it was
because
feature.
but when you
Yeah.
think about it, Perry Mason's features are an hour long, and I think that's where my mindset was, an hour long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yours was designed to be a feature.
It is a feature film.
Yeah, but a short film might be good practice for someone. It could
Yeah.
be 5 minutes to under 30 minutes.
Right. Hey,
Yeah.
when it comes to Emily Pearls, what would you like people to know about Miss Emily Pearls?
Well, let me answer Sybil's question
You're
first.
right. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Sybil, my music came from contributors,
Okay.
but the theme song was written by our very own Dwayne Wilson, who is
All
the
right. Dwayne.
husband. Yeah,
Yay.
I guess I'm having in there for Dwayne.
Thanks,
And-
Dwayne.
And Carlos Wright. Dwayne Wilson is our top fan. Sandra Hills Wilson's husband.
All right.
Carlos Wright is their friend. I met him through Dwayne and him. They were always doing music together down through the years.
Okay.
And thus both of them appearing in the cupboard scene at the restaurant scene where they're playing the keyboard and Carlos is singing one of his songs and they're dancing. We have a couple of customers are dancing. And I think that everybody had fun on my sets because
Oh, they did.
I always like to make my sets very comfortable because I don't like my actors to be tense.
Yeah.
I want to make them comfortable because if they're tense, they won't do a good job.
You're right about that.
and I don't like yelling on my set. Nobody yells on the set but me. Yeah. But the thing of it is, because see, a lot of times you have, I know I've been in some independent films when I first retired that was done around here in Memphis,
Mhm.
and you had these so-called directors just hollering at people and uh, you know, not in a good way,
Right.
trying to get them to do their lines right. But how in the world anybody gonna do their lines right? And you have already, kind of shouted at them,
Right. I
But,
agree.
yeah. So, and I just always tell my actors when we're shooting, I always tell them to pause. You know, say the part that you remember, and then we pause if they forget. And I tell them never say I'm sorry when
Right.
they forget mine. Just pause
Hmm.
and we start it over.
Right.
And we can do that as many times as necessary because it's the editor's job to put all that together to make it one smooth piece, you see.
Gotcha.
And that's the reason why the editing is so important. And that's why it's even extremely important to have an experienced professional editor so that they can put those things together. And then the other important thing about having a professional editor is because you need to be able to know how to do what do we call it? I can't even think of the terminology right now, but you know how when you show one person's face and you flip
Hmm.
to the other one's
Right.
another person's face and back to
Right.
the other one's face and back to the other one's face,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
kind of like a face off.
Right.
That takes some skill to do
Yes.
in editing, and it's really hard to do. I don't even know if I could do it, but I did put together myself the monologue for M. Pearls for her movie. Yeah, that's the part where she's telling her story
I saw
about
the
her
beginning.
life. Hmm. And so uh, the music symbol was contributed by such artists such as Dwayne Wilson and another, like I said, the other site, that several sites that I went to where you can get musicians that want to contribute their music to you for free as
Wow.
long as you give them credit in your movies.
You guys hear
So,
that? Wow. This is good
yeah,
information right here. Hey.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of music to choose from, and I made sure that the ones that I did use, their name and the name of their song is in the credits. And matter of fact, it was one musician, I think he had about 3 or 4 songs that
Okay.
I used. And so by his name and the credits, I had all 4 of his songs listed and his name just listed one time.
Right.
Right across from it was those 4 songs that I used from him
Okay.
because there were a lot of sad scenes in M. Pearl's movie, and his music as a producer, you have to have the ear for the music to match to the scene.
Right.
If it's anything I cannot stand when I'm watching films myself,
Oh boy. Here we go.
it is music that don't go with the time.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
when
Right.
I'm watching a movie from the 18th century or 17th century, I want to hear rap music as
Exactly.
going along with it. You know,
You're right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And And you don't want a murder scene and somebody playing a Nashville Orange Blossom special with a bunch
Yeah.
of fiddles. You know, it's
Right.
kind of mad.
Exactly.
Yeah, and one of my pet peeves is when the mouth is moving and the words don't go
I
together.
know.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that's an editing. Now that's but now I'm not talking about foreign films. I think you're talking specifically about foreign films
They're bad about
when
that.
you have the voiceover that's talking in English for the foreign
Yeah.
film actors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no,
Their
I
mouth
understand that.
goes.
I can watch those all day. It doesn't bother
Wow.
me.
Wow.
But what I don't like is like when we have delays here on the stream, on the streaming,
Mm-hmm.
and my mouth is going one way and I'm
Yeah.
saying something else.
Yeah.
But you can actually see that in some independent films, and it's because they didn't know, the editor didn't know what they were doing.
Okay.
Because see, you have audio tracks. You have when you're in an editing software, you have a film track for the video, you have a text track for any type of writing that you want to put on there.
Okay.
Then you have a music track, then you have a voice track. So you got 4 tracks, 4 main tracks. But the thing about it is you can add as many as you want. I can add 4 more of those tracks. So like for instance, on my in my movie, there are probably about 6 or 7 different tracks, simply because there are sounds that's just maybe a voice track that's used maybe for a sound, like when you remember when M Pearls falls
Mm-hmm.
on
Yeah,
her chest.
you hear that fall.
Well, there's that's a track just for the thud, and then but the music is also playing, so that's separate music on that
track.
on a different
Right.
track.
So would it be fair? Would it be fair to say that when you watch movies, you look at it from a director and writer point of
I
view?
do. I do.
Okay. Yeah. I was curious about that.
Yeah, that's why I have to watch them so many
Right.
times.
Right.
You have to watch them. I do the same
I
thing
wa-
sometimes being an actress.
Yeah, but I want, because when I'm first watching it, I'm watching it from the director producer viewpoint,
Okay.
and like you might hear me say, "Well, I'm watching Viking again," or
Yeah.
"I'm watching Game of Thrones again,"
Yeah.
because I have to go back then and then watch it as a normal person,
Okay.
And then when I go back and watch it as a normal person, I can still pick up things that I miss that I didn't see before.
Wow.
That's because I was looking for certain things when I was watching it as a director or a producer.
Yeah, and I can vouch for it because she's watched Vikings thousands of times. I couldn't believe how many times she was watching it.
And Game of
A lot of
Thrones too.
Game of Thrones too, right?
Yes, and can watch it some more.
Wow.
Because every time that I see it, and then and I'm so familiar with their music soundtrack that when I hear it used in other series, I can tell you where it came from. I said they got that from Vikings.
Wow.
They got that soundtrack. They got that soundtrack right there from Game of Thrones.
Wow.
And even some of the script, like you're not supposed to be here. That came when they used that in Game of Thrones. It actually came from the Hobbit movies series.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, many years ago.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so that's why I'm looking for those things. Because when I do my series, I don't want to be using those same things.
Okay.
So those are things that I have to put in my long-term memory as a writer and as a director. Because when you produce something, you want to produce something new and not the same old that people have
Something
heard.
fresh.
Right.
Yeah. Talking about your new movie, are you open for screenwriters to submit their ideas for your movie series, maybe?
Oh, of course. That would be great because I don't know that I will decide. Well, first of all, I won't be deciding, I know for sure, until the fall, whether or not I'm going to start the series. Excuse me. So yes, they could feel free to do that at any time, and they can send it to our production and studio email, which is TEPS PRODUCTIONS at gmail.com. I'm typing it in for y'all.
Yeah.
And I hope I got it done right.
Man, you guys did some great information. I hope you got your pen and your pad. You know,
Maybe that's why they can't. Maybe that's why they can't type, because maybe
They're listening.
maybe they're taking notes, you know, and
well, I know I am. Yeah.
writing stuff down.
I mean, you can only get it here exclusive.
Yes, this is an exclusive that a lot of people that are thinking about filmmaking, and a lot of them that are in filmmaking, should be watching, because I've seen some independent filmmaking that they thought was very good, but how can you tell somebody that your stuff is crap? You really just can't do it, you know. Yeah. And then they wonder, you know, why I get to get my stuff on major channels and they can't. It's the quality of your product, basically.
Well, I tell you what, all the filmmakers that's trying to do their best should go and see your movie to see how it's done.
That's a good suggestion to them. But you know, the thing about it is, I'm always reminded of the story of Jesus. When he went to his hometown, you know, after he had told the people that he was the Savior, you know, and he went to his hometown to try to tell the people there, people that knew him ever since he grew up, and they mocked him and disowned him and act like they didn't know him and just practically ran him out of the town.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and that's the way I feel about Memphis. Memphis has this unique clique mentality.
It does.
And as particularly in entertainment, filming, and politics. It has this clique mentality, whereas if you're not a part of that clique, then your stuff ain't no good. But if you're a part of that clique, then your stuff is good.
Okay.
But what the good thing was Jesus was that everywhere else that he went, all of the other towns and cities, they worshiped him. They loved him.
They sure did. And let me tell you this, the scripture that sums up what you said, it says a prophet is not accepted in his own country.
Exactly.
So you said a mouthful.
Exactly. And the thing of it is that the Amazon, I guess, is US. It picked it up first, but then Pantherflix picked it up, and this is a German. This company is in Germany. They picked it up. It ran internationally for a year, and I think that Pantherflix is the one that switched over to Plex TV, which is an international channel. Roku, I don't know where it's from, but
that sounds like Japanese or something to me.
Yeah, but I don't think it's United States, you know.
Right. I don't think so either.
But in the UK, you know, even when we had our radio show, so you know, we had more UK listeners than we did United States listeners.
You sure did, especially in Turkey.
And it's the same way with my movie. The international world loves my movie.
Right.
And other parts of the United States love my movie. Right. But home, Memphis, Tennessee, doesn't want to recognize it.
Yeah. That's sad. That's a sad situation, right?
It's not sad for me.
No, for them. I'm talking about them, not you.
Yeah.
So you're on amazing different platforms, and then now you are also a successful talk show host with 4 shows a week
Yes.
online and streaming. So
And that
you,
was
you wanna,
actually that's
yeah,
actually an international press release that
it's
Sybil and
yeah.
Tim was filming from. I mean, was introducing me from. That is an international press release that has been written about me.
That's
So
wonderful.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah, great.
what an honor that is.
yeah,
Absolutely.
How did you find out about that?
email. They sent it to me.
Wow,
Great. Great
yeah,
news.
yeah,
that
they
was
sent it to me.
powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Hang on to that press release. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
yeah.
I put it in the drawer so I would have it.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Uh,
Okay.
Well,
I think
it's
we covered everything.
8:15.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Where does the
We just
time
about
go?
covered it all.
So now let me ask y'all a question.
Yeah.
Tim, do you
Yes.
think you want to write a movie?
You know what? If I had to be in that industry, I think I would probably be on the writing end.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see that. Mm-hmm.
All right, great. So, well, I know you already write,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
I know
write, I
you.
just have
I
to
know you already know about
find the
sex.
time.
I know where's the time, right?
Yeah.
And I love writing and creating, and I think
Yeah.
we three would make a fabulous team.
Yeah.
That's
You know, putting
true.
things together.
Yeah.
You know, writing.
Right.
So
Oh, and speaking of script, that's another thing too.
Mhm.
Is that a script has to be written in a certain format, and I mean, you just cannot write a paragraph for this person to say and a paragraph for that person to say.
it's got to be like
Yeah.
conversation.
It's conversational format
Okay.
for scripts, and a lot of filmmakers won't. They don't know how to use a template to write their script. You know,
Mhm.
so that might be something else they might consider paying someone to do, because that's what make it easy for the actors.
Right.
You know, and now the other tip is for surprise parts. If you want to get a really, really true reaction from an actor, is that if you want to get, like, for instance, when M. Pearl's in the movie fell on her desk, her head fell on her desk.
Yeah.
Well, the actor, Edwin Saunders, didn't know that was going to happen. That's why he looks so. That's why he looks so real.
Oh, he
He
had
wasn't
no
expecting
idea.
that. He
Wow.
wasn't expecting that.
That's a
So
He thought
shock.
he thought you really got sick.
Yeah, so that's why he looked the way he looked, man,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
so sometimes when you need to get a real action from an actor, you
surprise,
cannot
yeah.
tell them what they are, how they are supposed to react, or you
Right.
can't tell them that something is coming.
Gotcha.
A certain part is coming
But that
Right.
was smart.
if you
Yeah,
want to get a
well.
true reaction. And
Mm.
the other,
You got a shocked look from him.
yes, it was
Okay.
so
Like,
real. It was so real. Then but everybody else's favorite part of the movie, I gotta say this, and I don't know if she's watching it or not, was Shawana Davis acting as I forget her character's name, but when she was at the witness stand, M. Pearls was questioning her, and she asked her, why was she eavesdropping at the conversation that
I remember that. Yeah.
Remington and Grant was having. Was it Grant and Remington? Anyway, she said, "Cause I wanted to."
I saw that. Yeah.
I
And
remember that. Yeah.
she really played that. She said, "I don't know, cause I wanted to." She was really, really natural.
Yeah.
She didn't know that question was coming,
Right.
Oh.
but she reacted just so naturally.
Yeah.
You know,
That
so,
was good.
yeah. So I'm just saying, to get a good reaction from the actors sometimes, because they wanted to know. Now they
Yeah.
were hounding me. They wanted to know, well, what you gonna ask me? What you gonna ask me? And I said, well, it's just gonna be general questions about, where you were, what you were doing. Don't worry
Right.
about it. You'll get through it. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell them because I didn't want a prompted
Response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
response.
You don't want to
Mhm.
rehearse
Right.
response. Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for, Sybil. Because you know, even now when I watch some movies, I can tell that that actor, uh, you know, practiced that, rehearsed that line. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
Just
So
not natural enough.
I wanted their responses in the courtroom,
Spontaneous.
really natural,
Right.
really spontaneous in
Right.
the courtroom. And like when I asked Grant, Mr. Grant, something, he didn't know. I asked him how much money was stolen. He didn't know
Yeah.
that I was going to ask him that.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was like, And I said, answer me, man.
Didn't
I
see
said,
that coming.
he didn't really know what to say because I had told him
Right.
the amount to say, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
when
Right.
Well, you're
producers,
a wonderful director as well.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Thank you
bring
so
out the
much.
best from
Yeah.
the actor.
Right. And thank you so much for allowing us to feel
Yeah.
that journey and
Uh-huh.
peek behind the curtain on
Yeah,
what really goes on. So wow,
that's what really
valuable
goes
information.
on.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Always.
Congratulations again on
Yes.
being the
Congrats.
spotlight in Black History Month because
Yes.
you are a history in the making.
Yes,
Thank you so
indeed.
much. Thank you
Yes,
so
indeed.
much. Well, I've enjoyed being here with you guys because really this is the first time I really have had a chance to explain M Pearls.
Right.
And so now that the movie is done, M Pearls lucked up and got made her a couple of millions off of this case because if you remember, her client was very rich.
Right. Uh-huh.
So where we want to take you to now, next time around, is to what has she done? You know, since she earned these few millions from this successful case that she won.
Yeah.
Sandra said congratulations.
Should be life changing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we want to know what is she doing? Is she still helping the people in the community,
I'm sure she will
or
be.
or has she
Sold out.
decided? Yeah, or has she decided to go into big corporate law?
Okay.
I think she's going to keep helping people, and with her money, she can start, homeless shelters
Yeah.
and doing some great things charity
Yeah.
wise with her money, while she's still straightening up the community and freeing them from criminals off the street.
What do
Yeah.
you
She might
think,
even
Tim?
she might even run for an office and get elected.
What do you think, Tim?
Well, I don't think that she would go corporate. I think she's very rooted. She's the type of person that you can't put into a box. You know what I mean? You can't just put her in one category. Wow. I'm just anxious to find out what is she really doing.
I know,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And of course, we're going to be in your movie naturally.
Yeah, hopefully Tim was working
Yeah.
and he couldn't
He's
get
gonna
in
be
it.
in
He
it
was
this
supposed
time.
to be in it. We did a teaser trailer and he was in the teaser trailer. But by the time we got to actually filming the movie,
Yeah. Yeah. I was working.
he wasn't, he was working nights and he wasn't able to be in it.
Well, that's okay. He's going to be in your next one.
Well,
Yeah, Lord
hopefully,
will. Yeah.
hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah, because he will definitely, he could, I mean, I can see a part for him straight away, you know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I can
straight
too.
away.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah, and of course, Maddie Long will still be with them Pearls.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
Maddie Long might have a more active part though now.
Oh,
That
that's wonderful.
you know,
Okay.
so you never know.
Stand by, huh?
Stand
All
by.
righty.
All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much for coming here tonight.
You're so welcome.
Well,
Y'all got to end the show.
well,
I'm the
I
guest. I'm the guest.
I'm not, listen, I'm trying to. Hang on.
guess-
As Sandra said, M Pearls AAL. Watch it on Tubi,
Mhm.
Amazon Video, and Roku. Everyone, watch the movie,
She
and
did.
we're gonna had a wonderful time. So we are looking forward to seeing y'all
My
again.
favorite
on the Emily Pro
part,
Show.
my favorite, you was talking about music, Sybil. My favorite song is Sky Blue, which is the theme song for the movie
Oh, it's
that
beautiful.
Dwayne and Carlos wrote.
Great.
That's
That
at
is
the very beginning,
beautiful
and
instrumental. Beautiful.
it's so soulful, yeah, jazzy with that touch of bassy blues,
Right. Uh-huh.
and that's unique for
It's a
uh,
beautiful
a,
song.
a theme song for a movie. It's very unique, and they can tell you as soon as I heard it, I was like, I want that, I want that, I want that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a beautiful song. That
Right.
should be played even now.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
So that's all I got to say.
well, the
is
theme
congratulations.
song, the theme song for M Pearl's series would still be Sky Blue.
Right.
That won't change.
Wow.
I think so too. Yes.
Okay, continue, so I'm gonna get out of here.
Now, that's it. I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. It's archived, so you can play it again, share it with your friends, and tell them what is your final say.
Great show, great information. Hey, look, guys, you normally would have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for some information like that. So,
That's
Yes.
right.
hey, watch the replay. Tell a friend and tell another friend. With that, I wish everybody love, peace, and happiness, and let's be safe out there.
All right. Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night, everybody.